up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your main man, juggernaut of multi-platinum production team, Arkatech Beatz.
Arkatech Beatz.
Shout out to my partner, Mike Trauma D. Welcome to the music production and beat making live streams. This is day 82. We have been streaming for 82 days, and we have been making beats every night, doing music production, and then I walk people through the process of music production. For those who don't know me, like I said, I'm part of multi-platinum production group Arkatech Beatz. Shout out to my partner, Mike Trauma D. We're responsible for working with hip-hop's greatest: Big Pun, Nas, Jadakiss, Raekwon, The Chef, RZA, Max B, The Game, Killer Mike, Sci-Hi the Prince, Meek Mill, you name it, we've done it. Waka Flocka Flame, Lil Scrappy, Shorty Low, you name it, we've done it. Prodigy of Mobb Deep. So shout out to everybody that comes into the live night after night. Bring in some samples, and we do sample-based production on the Akai MPC XSC. If it's your first time here, make sure you're following, liking, subscribing. Definitely make sure that you're hitting the like button. It does help the algorithm. Make sure that you're sending any gifts and roses and stuff. That does help the algorithm. And of course, super chats help the algorithm. And thanks for supporting. I got a sample here. Right now we're going to be rocking at about 78 BPMs. Nice little sweet spot. We're going to lay that down. And we're going to build this track, and we're going to see where it takes us. Let's go. Shout out Rob Mully, what up? I need you to listen to the elements in the sample, right? Because now we're going to build around this. So what do you hear? Got a strong bass line. You know, a little bit of percussion. Some shakers and stuff like that, right? So we don't got to do too much on the percussion side. Just a little bit to enhance it, right? So let's go. Let's go. Try that again. It's not triggering the way I want it to. We're gonna tune up this hi-hat. One Deep, what up? Let's go. Make sure we're sharing the live. Y'all ready? We're gonna add an open hat to this, right? And a lot of this is just important to just make the move, to make the record move better. You know what I mean? Saint Center, what up? And remember what I'm doing here, I'm doing 16 levels. So right, 16 levels is gonna put us at the highest on the pad. We don't want to be at the highest. We want to pick somewhere that's going to be into the pocket of the sample. And that's where we start. And then if we have to mix it down better into it, we're already where we want to start at. John Blaze, what up? Yeah, One Deep, we had our production deal with Loud Records. If you notice, a lot of our placements are live. DJ M Rock, man, shout out to you, man. Chip Burger, what up? Alright, so listen. We're gonna add the open hat in there real quick. Ready? PW, what up? I'm gonna put every 4. Damn, bro. Let's go. We're gonna bring this down a little bit, maybe about like 25% velocity to make it hit a little softer. But we don't want it to overtake the hi-hats. So Chip Burger, man, I don't know about that whole see colors. Some people hear colors, but they like to take colors and, you know, like like how colors match and blend. That's how people see it. They try to use that as a way to like an analogy to blending sounds. If that makes sense. All right, you ready? We're gonna add a snare in here real quick. Let's go. Yep, like an abstract concept. People are trying to describe how to get this stuff to blend and to mix together. And I think colors is probably the best way to describe it. Let's get this snare down. Let's go. Let's make sure we're hitting this like button, man.
Arkatech Beatz.
Let's go. So now we got our snare down, right? Now, if I'm being honest, I want my snare to cut through a little bit better. What I'm gonna do, I add a little bit of parametric EQ on it. Not a lot. And then probably boost the low to mid ends. I'm going to use the first preset called Thicken. This is all on the MPC-X. I'm going to turn down the high mid. I'm going to leave the low mid in there a little bit. Alright, and we're going to add a little reverb. Get this snare to kind of smack a little bit, right? Too much now, right? I'll turn this to large studio, change the time, and bring it down into the mix. Shout out DJ M Rock, yo. Thank you for the gift, bro. Let's go. I'm gonna tune this up one. There you go. That felt better. Make sure we're hitting the like button, man, to help the algorithm. Make sure that we're hitting the share button. That helps the algorithm. Make sure that you are sharing with a friend. It helps the algorithm. Make sure that you are following the host. We're here every night, man. Some nights we start earlier than others. Tonight we're a little late, you know, it's summer. Kids out of school, let's go. you got questions about the music business, the music industry, throw them into the chat, man. Tyler Smith, what up? We about to add a kick in here, right? And you need to just remember what we got to do. We got to pay attention to how this sample is going, right? We hear a good bass line. And let me beat the sample up a little bit. Add a little EQ to this too. So make this bass line pop a little bit. To it. Turn the feedback down. Bring it down into the mix a little bit. Kaz, what up? Saint Descent is asking, do I have entire tracks dedicated to multiple kicks and snares? Yes, so each track now has the whole kit. It's 16 level right now, but each track has the whole kit. And I do that so that we have like track mute control versus pad mute control. Some people will say it's the same, but I kind of like it to be, I like each track to be individualized. And of course, every time I duplicate it, I have all of my kicks and not just one. You know what I mean? So I have all of my kicks, and then I can always switch because the kit is part of the track. Y'all ready? And what I'm trying to do now, if y'all hear me playing with different patterns, is because I'm trying to find the right groove, right? Because the bass line is driving this, right? So we have to realize and recognize what the driver of this track is going to be. Right now, it's feeling like it's going to be the bass line. So the question is, we can flood it with a whole bunch of drums, but it leaves no space to rap or no space for the artist, right? So the key is here just to kind of find the right groove. Some minimal drums on it, right? Or at least that's what I'm feeling initially. Now, of course, I can go a little bit more crazy with it, right? That's too busy, you know what I mean? So it sounds good for us as producers, but it's going to be too busy for the rapper. He hear it, he going to be like, man, it's all over the place. Remember now, as producers now, a lot of times we want to impress other producers. The key is not to impress other producers. The key is to make it good for the listener and for the artist so you can get your music placed. Let's go. Mess that up. Let's try it again. Let's go. Shout out to everybody that's in the live, man. Make sure that we're liking the live. Make sure that we are sharing the live. real quick. I don't like that. Let's go. Shout out to Liam, man. Appreciate you. Make sure we're sharing the live, man. Let's go. We just added an 808. And let me walk you through the process of the 808 now, right? Now, when we're in the MPC has this thing called pad performance mode, which is it's really a godsend. You know, for those who are coming from the old school MPCs like I am, the MPC 2000 and all of that stuff. Like we was always stuck to 16 levels, and we had to tune our bass lines and everything to the tune of our sample. So what I typically like to do is I like to find my sample and look at the key of it. Right now, this is in like a B minor, right? I add on the plugin, which is my sub-factory plugin. If you don't have that sub-factory from Makai, man, I don't know what to tell you. You're missing out. I want to press in the pad performance mode. I'm going to take the scale and octave, and I'm going to make it match what my sample is. So my sample is in B minor. We're going to put B natural minor, and then we're going to use chromatic. When we use chromatic, what it tends to do is it helps to highlight the keys that help to go with what we're working with. So it kind of makes it hard to not be able to miss what you're doing. So it makes it kind of easier for you to find your notes. John Blaze, if you want to get the overview of the MPC, you have to switch on over to the YouTube, only because TikTok has revoked my Streamlabs access, which gives us, because if you notice when I use my Streamlab access, I use two cameras, one that's showing me and then one that's showing the MPC, but they're like hell-bent on me having to use their streaming platform. I don't know what it's about. Like, they do not want me to use a third-party streaming platform. They will not give me any streaming keys. And anytime I get an streaming key with it, they revoke it after 1 day of use. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know what the game is. But it is a game that they're playing. But anyhow, for those that are on TikTok, make sure that y'all sharing it. If y'all are trying to get an overview of the MPC, the view of it, that's going to be available. TikTok, Twitch, LinkedIn. I'm sorry. TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, Kick, Rumble, like all the other platforms. You're going to get the two cameras. This is the only one you get the one. Yeah, TikTok plays dirty games. Don't get me wrong, though. I appreciate the engagement. The TikTok engagement is crazy. All right, we just getting started, right? So now I got something else in here now. Ready? So now we got our core to this beat now, right? Now we gotta spruce this thing up. Richie Mays, what up? All right, here we go. I'm gonna set up some mute groups. We're gonna make the next one D6 and D7 is gonna be mute groups. Y'all hear that? John Blaze, man, what up? So here we go. We about to make it happen here. ready? Let's go. So now I'm going to copy the sequence over to a next sequence, right? That's going to be our second sequence. We're not going to name what's what yet. We don't know what's going to be the verse. We don't know what's going to be the hook yet. We're just trying to determine that by the feel, right? Ready? Let's go back to the first one. Ready? Let's go. Yo, make sure y'all sharing this live, man. Let's go. Let's turn the speakers up, man. In your headphones. Let's go. You feel that? Yeah, Frank, what up? Peace. Let's go. Let's go back to the part. Other part. Ready? Let's go. Mike saying, what up? Hit that like button, man. Hit that share button. Like I said, it helps the algorithm. We cooking up tonight, man. Day 82. If you want to watch how we built it from the beginning, watch the replays on YouTube. Richie Mays, man. What up, man? What up, my brother? Let's go. Sheesh. Hold on, we're not even, you listen. All right, look. We're going to go again, right? We're going to go to a third sequence. Because remember now, sometimes, listen, some samples are gold, okay? I ain't gonna hold y'all. Some samples are gold. Some samples you gotta fight with to make it go where it gotta go. In this case, this samples are gold. Okay? So let's get the third part in here. Let's go. Let's go. Go. Sheesh. So look at how this is built up now. I got a nice space for your artist. Right? Someone's asking on YouTube how to explain the mute group. So listen, let me tell you how it works. So look, mute groups are kind of work kind of like how when you chop a sample, when you play one, it cuts off the other. So that's really a mute group, right? Because it's only allowing one sample to play at a time. But we got three different samples. It's not part of a chop. All right, so because it's three different samples, we always go into here, which is called the global parameters. And what you're going to see is a mute target on the right-hand side. It's going to tell you what my main pad is, right? So my main pad is D5, but I got a sample on D6 and I got a sample on D7. So what you're going to do is you're going to tell the MPC that when I'm playing D5, D6 and D7 is going to mute me. So I'm going to go over to that parameter. I'm going to go to D6. Right, I'm gonna go over here to this pad. I'm gonna be in pad D5. I'm gonna turn this pad to D6. That's gonna mute this one, and I'm gonna turn that pad to D7. So what's gonna happen is when I play this one, it cuts it off, and And it's the same thing here. So D pad D6, we're going to tell it to mute D5, which is the previous pad, and then the other pad, which is D7. And then when I go to D7, we're going to tell it to mute D6 and D5. Now what happens is, now what does this all make sense about? So when I'm switching between samples, right? When I'm switching between samples, whatever, let's say, for example, this is a 4-bar loop. But if I wanted it to be a 2-bar loop, what's going to happen is that when I switch over to the next sequence, it'll carry over, and we don't want it to do that. So what we want it to do is every time we go between samples, that it will cut off just in case the sample is not truncated properly. So this helps us to not have to necessarily truncate samples, because I can trigger it mid-play. I can stop it. See what I'm saying? So say, for example, I wanted to change the sequence where instead of it playing for 4 bars, it plays for only 2. Like this, right? And I can change it there versus waiting for it to all the way play out. So that's the whole purpose of using mute groups. So I put the mute groups in, and then I put, so then, and also what I do is, because the sample, I put the sample all on the same track. So when we export it as a stem, it's all going to be, it's going to have the changes all as one. Kaz, what up, man? Yo, 7.7, man. Thanks for the gift, man. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all sharing the live, man. You're welcome, brother. Thanks for the super chat, my brother. Appreciate you. Listen, we're here every night, man. And this is what it's about, man. It's about me sharing the process and explaining the things that you may not understand. So we're trying to get better, right? Let's go. Let's go back to the hook. Ready? Let's go. Sharing a live. Go. He said 50. Yo, man, if you got a line of 50, man, send it to him, man. Listen, I got records with Young Buck. Right, you can go check that out. Realest in the Game with Jadakiss, Young Buck, and Shook. And Sheik Luch, my bad. I got a game record, Never Be Friends, even though I know he's no longer G Unit. And I got a Lloyd Banks record, man. Taking notes on Halloween Havoc 5. I just got a 50 record. I need a 50 record, dog. And a Tony Yayo record, because I like Tony Yayo. Shout out to him. Somebody tag Yayo, man. I know he on TikTok. Let's go. The next step of this now is to build this all into song mode, right? So now we're kind of clear. We're kind of clear that this is going to be our verse. All right. So let's start naming our stuff, man, so we can pay attention and start knowing what we're going to do. This is going to be our verse 1, right? And now we have to make this 8 bars. So I'm going to double it up, make that 8. We're gonna make this second part now. This is gonna be right before the hook come in. So this is gonna be verse number 2, and not verse number 2 or second part of the verse. Well, I always name it verse 2, the second part of the verse. This is gonna stay 4 bars. We're gonna go from 8 to 4 and then back into the hook. Then we're gonna go back to the third sequence. We're gonna name this the hook. We're gonna do that like that, and then we're gonna double this up. We're gonna go here. We're gonna double the length. We're gonna make that 8 bars. Make sure that y'all liking the live, sharing the live. Remember what happens, this helps the algorithm. What we're trying to do is we're trying to find like-minded producers, like-minded artists. We're trying to build a community of producers, artists, musicians. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do it like this. We're not only going to show them music production, but we're going to show them and make them understand what the music business is. Right? So you're going to learn the music business with me. I've been in this thing for 20 plus years. Not only have I been a producer, I've been an A&R consultant. I've been a staff producer for one of the biggest labels in the world that had Mobb Deep, Wu-Tang, and all of those guys on it. You name it, we've pretty much done it. We have our own situation. We have our own distribution deal with the Orchard and Sony right now. So we're currently in the mix doing what we're doing. And what I want to show artists and I want to show producers is what's happening in 2025, which is going to be primarily heavy on content creation, heavy on e-commerce, heavy on direct-to-consumer, heavy on digital products, heavy on digital creations, heavy on releasing, streaming, and all of those things. I basically want to show people, what it's going to take to kind of get yourself set up in that kind of world, and so that you can kind of, work your art and at the same time work your business at the same time. So let's go. Make sure that we're sharing it live, man. Like I said, that helps the algorithm. And make sure we're liking the live. Thank you all for super chats. Thank you for the gifts. Those also help the algorithm and helps with these platforms and pushing it out, right? If you're on another platform and you want to watch the replays, those are strictly on YouTube, man. And there's a whole playlist with the 80 days worth of beats that we've been building. We're going to add another sound in here. I'm going to use this plugin called Fabric. It's one track with different parts. I wanted something electric. I didn't want to go acoustic because it's already kind of got that in there. Does that make sense? But we'll see. Try something real quick. Alright. Let me just transpose this. And what we'll do is we'll just transpose the second part. Because I need to figure out the notes, but because it's not going to be on the same pad and I can't reach my keyboard is all the way over here. And it's out of the view of the camera, as you can clearly see. Like my hand is over here, like I can't really reach my keyboard. So what question you got, bro? Let me try while I try to figure this out here. It's about affirmative action. Something like that, but whatever, I'll fix it. Yeah, that guitar is right. Listen, if y'all want to do music reviews, man, go to arkatechbeatz.com. And I got a little processing where you go down to music reviews. And we do that so that we can have like a portal so that there's a digital record of whatever's being submitted for everybody's protection. Hold on, man. I'm in Atlanta, but I'm from the Bronx. Yeah, the first 4 notes is fine. The second 4 ones, I gotta just play with it, man. And I'm right now, I'm not trying to kill the vibe, trying to figure that out. You got the perfect artist? Let's go. Appreciate y'all. Let's stack this string up. Julius Ruffin, man. Thank you for your gifts, bro. Yo, shout out to on TikTok, DJ J Rock, Born Ready, Liam Ian, 7.7. Julius Ruffin, man. Thank you guys for your gifts, man. I appreciate y'all. We building tonight. We making these tracks, and we're gonna go through the whole process in terms of trying to set up the song mode, man. Papi Chulo, you wanna name me Papi Chulo? You wanna call it Ooh Papi? Papi Chulo. That's funny, bro. My man Ashkin on YouTube said we should name the beat Papi Chulo. Said Papi Chulo. To the hook. Back to the verse. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Hit the like button, man. Let's go. Share the live.
Arkatech Beatz.
sharing the live, hitting the like button. That helps the algorithm. Y'all likes and y'all shares help us get discovered on that For You page. Make sure y'all following. Terrell, man. Appreciate you, bro. You gonna go back into the hook? Yeah. Going back into the verse. Let's go. Let's go. Pay attention to the 808 in here now, right? Right? So so what we're doing is we're enhancing the bottom end of this. So when you play this someplace that has a loud subwoofer, it's gonna bust a speaker. Hitting the like button. Let's go. It's the breakdown, right? Goes for 4 bars. Alright, now wait for when we bring the hook in. Where my rappers at? 3, 2, 1, bring the hook in, let's go.
Arkatech Beatz.
Let's go, back to the verse. Where's my John Blaze, let's go. Pusha T, what? Let me tell y'all a joke, man, let me tell y'all my Pusha T story. My Pusha T story goes like this. Me and Mike are in Atlanta. We're in Atlanta and we are with Shorty Low, right? At this time, we have the same manager, Shorty Low. Shout out to the homie, Johnny Cabell, man. One of the coolest guys in Atlanta, one of the top booking agents in Atlanta. You know, he used to manage Shorty Low before he passed away, Crime Mob. You know what I'm saying? D4L, right? Just to put a little bit in perspective, right? So we're in Atlanta. Shorty Low is doing the video shoot for this song called Foolish. Y'all can go look that up. This is maybe around 2008, 2009. You know, this is way back when. We're in the projects in the hood. He got a Lambo in the projects. Like, I didn't really understand. Like, I didn't understand Atlanta projects because, you know, in New York projects is buildings. Atlanta projects is more like housing developments that just looks crazy. You know what I'm saying? So you know, we out there and we see Push is here, right? Now this is like, you know, this is in transition where the clips was kind of like we didn't know what was happening, and it's right before he really started, you know, dealing with Kanye for good music. So, we talked to Push, and then I started to realize that he got roots, where in the Bronx from Gun Hill. You know what I'm saying? That's where we realized that from having that conversation with him. And the one thing that I regret during that exchange is that for whatever reason, we did not get this guy's information. I don't understand what happened. Why didn't we get this guy's information? I don't know if it's because we was in like Atlanta mode and we wasn't really thinking about it, but we never got the guy information, man. So, shout out to Pusha T and them, man. Listen, he is one of these guys that's going to go down in history that's going to probably be one of the most underrated, but one of the most important figures in hip hop. When everything expires and we look back at that body of work and we understand how important his moments were. So shout out to those guys, man. Clips doing it, album crazy. Let's go. And I guess the moral of that story is this, in this business, there are highs and there are lows, right? And a lot of times what happens to us as producers is we like to, we want to aim for the person that's really ascending or the person that's on top. And we're like, if I get a Drake record, right? You know what I mean? And like we want a Drake record, right? Or, but when, let's say, for example, now the beef happened with Drake and people say that he lost the beef, right? And now all of a sudden Drake is no longer cool, right? People are trying to make it as such. I'm just giving an example. And then you as a producer now, wouldn't really be running around that because you were saying, well, it's not really cool to work with this person at this moment. Listen here. Take it from me when I'm telling you. You want to build relationships with artists, whether they're hot or cold, period. Let me tell you that. Any artist that has access to capital, who's able to put music out and has any sort of a name, you want to make sure that you're building a relationship with them, whether they're hot, cold, mid, whatever you might want to call it. Because, again, things change. Things change. The people who you think wasn't going to come back, they come back stronger than ever. Vito Corleone, thank you for your super chat. He says he found us through researching the beat that we did for Shooter 93. Question, Vito, the beat that we did for Shooter 93, where did you hear it? Because it's very, very slim on on socials. So I would like to know, did you see it on Instagram? Like, where did you hear it? Because I know Shooter has a direct to customer pipeline, and I kind of want to get an idea of, if that music is part of that, like, direct to consumer pipeline. But yeah, man, the funny thing about Shooter 93, he from Harlem. Shout out to him. I seen a video with Shooter, and at the time, this is before all the Diddy stuff. He had a song called Diddy Told Him or something like that. And I saw the video and I'm like, yo, I like this guy. I like how he was spitting the whole Harlem, his swag. I liked it. I reached out to Mike. I said, yo, Mike, reach out to homie, man. I got something for him. And then I wound up sending him that stuff, which was called Irrelevant Savage. Instagram. All right, yo, man, shout out to you, bro. And thank you for your super chat, man. He sent $50 super chat. I appreciate him, yo. I appreciate you, man. Make sure that you follow him. We're here every single night. We be building. We making this music, man, every single night. We sharing game. We telling people what Shooter does, man. Shooter is one of the rappers that have a very unique he has a very unique way of marketing his music. He markets his music on social media, but he does no streaming platforms, none. If you want his music, you got to hit him directly on Instagram, and then what he does is he negotiates what he wants to sell his music for directly with his customers. He knows exactly who his folks is. He only promotes on social media, but he does not use streaming platforms. He does not use streaming platforms. This is the way. I'm trying to tell folks. Folks don't really realize that he has total control over how he's put his joints out. That's what's up, bro. Chad, I need a name for the beat, man. Vito Corleone, man. Tell me what you got for this one. Shout out to Charlie on Kick, man. What up? Hit that like button, man. Make sure y'all sharing the live. So who was I talking about? I was talking about a rapper called Shoota 93. SHOOTA 93. You can check him out on Instagram. Vito, man, I'm glad we could help, man. And really, I want to try to, and really what I try, if you're in these lives, man, we're doing a little bit of everything, right? So it's predominantly hip hop, boom bap, right? Because that's really our bedrock, right? That's our claim to this business is through the boom bap, right? And I'll be honest, man, there was a time where the music that me and Mike were doing was just too dark. Like some guys just couldn't rock with it. They was like, yo, it's too dark, it's too tough, it's too hard. And you would say, man, like, you know, I thought this was New York City gritty. But, you know, for a period of time, New York City had to get a little bit more, like, you know, 50 came and folks had to start looking at higher, had to start doing different types of music because you had to sell records. So, you know, you kind of get lost in a little bit of that sauce. But what I like what's happening right now is that everybody can develop their lane. And that's what I like about where the business is right now, is that you develop your lane, and what you do is you find your audience. You know, you don't have to worry about all of these different things and streaming numbers and all that stuff. All that stuff is antiquated. You know, that's the industry trying to hold on to a old model that no longer works. You know what I'm saying? So I encourage everybody now, and that's the whole point of these lives and these tutorials, is I'm trying to encourage people to listen. Get in now. Learn the socials now. Learn the business now. Like, this is the time to start doing it. And there is no age limit. All that crap about people being certain age and all of that. Nah. Make good music, make good content, and let the algorithm figure out who your audience is. And then what you do is, once your audience is found, you continue to feed your audience until you can kind of grow it bigger and bigger, and then you make a living off your art. Rest in peace, Prodigy, man. Like, for real, rest in peace, Prodigy. For real, for real, for real. I had the honor of working with Prodigy on the record Self-Conscious, with Nas, and you know what I mean? That's one of our flagship records, along with Big Pun's Capital Punishment. Is that Prodigy and Nas record, man? Like, people love that to this day. It's 20 years old plus. People love that, man. So, you know, I wish Prodigy was here, man. The type of music that we be able to give Prodigy now, man. Like, people don't really understand. Like, you don't really understand. Like, let me break down the significance of a Prodigy for me. The significance for a Prodigy for me is that I had no equipment. Right? I had no equipment. I'm a college student, and I'm taking a bus to go to New Rochelle to go to college. And in Iona, for those who are in New York, knows about New Rochelle, taking that damn bus all the way up Boston Road, all the way up to Huguenot Street and Main Street. Everybody who know about that know about it. And I wind up buying a copy of the Infamous album. And true story was, I was at a pizza shop on Gun Hill Road. Shout out Nick's Pizza on Gun Hill Road, off the 5 train across the street from the Golden Crust. So people who know the New York know. I was with my man. A dude picked us up in an MPV to take me back to my house. And while I was in the back seat of the MPV, he was playing the Infamous album, and he played like the start of your ending. Right? So when he was playing the start of your ending, it took about 3 minutes to get to the crib. But he was playing the Mobb Deep start of your ending. Y'all know how the Infamous album start off. And it just was breaking my back, the way that the guy had the pause, the way homie had the speakers in the back of the MPV. And by the time I got to the house, I was like, my God, this is the most incredible songs that I'm hearing so far. So now I went straight to the record store. I bought that Infamous album, and that was my soundtrack riding back and forth to college, you know what I'm saying? And that's just that Mobb Deep, man. That was my soundtrack. That was who I was, you know, in those days, you know what I'm saying? Being a teenager coming from the Bronx, trying to really make it through. Because for me going to college, I didn't even know if I was going to make it to college, because in my senior year of high school, one of my best friends got murdered, right? So I didn't even realize that I was going to really really be, I didn't even think I would make it to college, bro. Just being honest, you know, coming from the environment that we come from, like, you ain't even think it was going to make it to college, dealing with all the gang stuff and all that stuff. I just didn't think we was going to make it. But I am now. I'm here. I'm on the bus. I'm playing this Infamous album, and I'm hearing this Prodigy, man. And it's the P. And you know how his voice just cut through the music, man. And I said, man, I gotta start getting this equipment, man. I started trying to get this equipment. I started trying to start getting stuff, start buying stuff, trying to make these beats, whatever. And then when my cousin started to make beats with me, and then he wound up landing that job as an intern at Loud. And when he told me, like, yo, you know, Prodigy was listening to some of our records, it was like, what? He listening to our music? Like, Prodigy, Mobb Deep, listening to our stuff? And he was like, yo, he want one of these joints. He want this joint that we did right here. And I'm like, this is crazy. So then I finally get to meet P. It's like a dream come true. You know what I'm saying? It's really a dream come true for me, at least. You know what I mean? Because I go from listening to this guy's music, now I'm working with him. And then the record that we working on with it, which was supposed to go to the HNIC album, he's like, yo, I'm giving it to Nas for the QB's Finest album. And I said, you giving it to Nas for QB's Finest? He's like, yeah, you got Nas on it, man. Man, I said, you got Nas on it, dog? He's like, yeah. I couldn't believe it, bro. I couldn't believe it. So it's truly like the gift that keeps on giving. It's a blessing. It's one of the few records that got Prodigy and Nas on it solo that's not a Mobb Deep record. So I'm somebody asked me if I got an Alchemist story. Well, Alchemist was there the night that we went to go get that record from P. That's the joke. The joke is when we was in the studio to go listen to that record, Alchemist was actually there, and he was working on another record. If y'all remember that record from, I think it's from Murder Music with the girl singing, it's called Thug Music. So he was actually doing that record when we were getting the other record from P. And listen, man, true story. What people don't understand is that when we were coming up, it's us, it's Alchemist, it's a bunch of other guys at that situation. So much so that if you go all the way back, there's an early Source magazine article back in 2000s it's written by Riggs Morales. Riggs Morales is currently one of the top executives at Def Jam right now. Shout out to him. But he was an editor, or he was a journalist back then at the Source. After we did all the Pun and Nas stuff, he called us. He was like, yo, I'm doing a feature article on the producers for the Millennium, and I want y'all to be in it. So me and Mike went, and we got that full page in the Source at 2000, and on the other page is Alchemist. So we was in the same class, bro. So you got to kind of look at the artists that we work with. You know what I'm saying? That the situation with a lot of what he did, and this is what I was going back to, what I wanted to say with people, is that he did something that I think a lot of artists didn't pay attention to. He worked with people who were lukewarm, who was hot, who was mid, and that's what kept him constantly in this situation and kept building up and building up and building up. It's because he wasn't afraid to work with artists that wasn't the top artists at the time. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get so caught up in chasing the check, you kind of forget the music. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot for us now, while we did go down south and we did start to do a lot of Atlanta music, I think really that while I think that helped us in certain terms of relevancy, I think it kind of hurt us, because at the same time, where we built our relevancy, the Atlanta music couldn't really match what we did in New York. You know what I'm saying? It just couldn't. It doesn't have the same staying power. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just didn't. You know what I'm saying? So while we was working with certain guys, these records didn't have they don't have the staying power that New York records had, or the records that we did with our New York artists. Our New York artist records, the Law from New York, the Max B, Why You Do That, like all of these records, they have way more staying power than the ones that we did with our Atlanta-based artists. And that's just a fact, you know what I mean? So, in retrospect, switching gears from doing our boom bap to doing trap, I think may have been good for us to learn, but may not have been necessarily the right thing in terms of brand recognition. So I take our experience, I share those experiences with y'all so that y'all can make y'all decisions to make sure that y'all are moving in the right direction. We made the mistakes, so you don't have to make them too. So that's really the whole part of it. Shout out to Coach J, man. Jadakiss top 5 dead or alive, right? Realest in the game. Yo, Chad, I need a name for this beat. Let's go. He's on the hook. I need a name for the beat, chat. Rough Suede. Man, Famous J say call it Blue Magic. Sweeter than candy. DJ M Rock. Vito Corleone says spiritual funk. Some people say they hear Nas on it. Make sure y'all hitting the follow button, man. Let's go, man. B on this would be crazy, right? Acapulco players. Vito, you know when Max B come home, it's a wrap, right? Like you do, like I want people to know that when Max B come home, it's a dub, man. Because that why you do that, like the way people play why you do that. Listen, man. Listen, we already connected with the camp, man. So we already know the EMG camp. Shout out to my man Ty Black and all of those guys. Listen, we already locked in, bro. I got some more unreleased Max B on my joint that he did while we was in prison. I got it on my computer. I just can't play it. Free to wave, man. I'm telling you, man. We locked in with Max, man. You know, so much so that they was trying to use them why you do that for the French Montana documentary. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that, like we locked in, man, like everything. So when he got home, it's about to be crazy. All people are ready for that. Shout out Coach J, man, for the gift, man. Shout out Jamel Williams for the gifts, man, on TikTok. Shout out to JRM. Appreciate you. My man Jay say Blue Magic. What y'all think about that? Yeah, I like that Blue Magic right there. We're going to run with that. Shout out to everybody that's in the live, man. We built another one. I can still add some more elements to the hook, too, man. So all I added was a string. I think I can still add in some more acoustic guitar. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to need to get to my keyboard to do it. You said pulling strings? So check this out, right? This joint is called Blue Magic. Let's start it off. Right? So we kind of have an idea where our song is going, right? We go right to the hook, right? So what we want to do with this here is we want to copy this again. And we want to turn this sequence into the intro. Alright? Alright? And then we're going to turn this into 4 bars versus 8. We're going to half that. And what I'm going to do also is I'm going to go here. I'm going to make a copy of this track. I'm going to name this the tag because I got to put my producer tag on it.
Arkatech Beatz.
Let's get that in. All right.
Arkatech Beatz.
Right. So now when we start, it's gonna go like this. Right. Make sure y'all hitting that like button, man. Sharing this live. Let's go. Go right to the hook. Go to the first verse. We're gonna go to the mini bridge. Let's go. That's crazy, right? Listen, that's pretty much the core of it, right? Now everything else is just adding a little bit more ear candy to the hook, because I want the hook to be a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna add some more acoustic stuff, a little bit more bells, just things to enhance what we already kind of hear, maybe even an organ, you know what I mean, just to kind of make it beef it up a little bit. Because the string line is dope, it's already there, and we're just kind of following what we got along in there. Before we try to get out of here, I'm about to wrap up the live a little bit. We've been on for an hour and a half. I'm gonna play what we did yesterday for those who are first time here. If you want to watch what we built yesterday, you can go to watch those on YouTube, especially if you're on the TikTok side. If you're on the Twitch side, I guess you'll be able to watch that for maybe about a week or something like that. I don't know how long it'll last, but for the most part, all of the replays you can watch on YouTube. The joint that we did yesterday is called the Jukes. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. It's called the Jukes, man. New York music, man. Let's go. YFA, man. What up? Let's go. Coach J, what up? Listen, all the people that y'all naming, AZ, Coogee Rap, the new era of that is Griselda, Benny the Butcher, Westside Gun, 38 Special, Stove God, like that's where we are. Conway the Machine, that's where we are right now. That's where it needs to go. Let's go. Shout out BSF Tone. The music we got with him gonna be legendary. Let's go. Second part of the hook, right? Styles P, Benny the Butcher, Jadakiss, right? Break the beat down for those who wasn't here yesterday. Shout out to Vinny Idol, man. He was supposed to be on our podcast, man. So we started with the sample, right? Right? That's our main hook, right? Y'all hear that? You hear that? That's a 4-bar loop that we turned into 8, right? So, how did we start the beat off? We started off with the hi-hats. And what we did is we did a velocity change, man. We're going high and low velocity on these. Now that I'm looking back at it, it didn't all trigger the way I wanted it to trigger. But for the most part, it's supposed to be going high, low, high, low. So if we do a 16 level velocity, we're probably going between 4 pads, right? And that will give us like a little bit of motion with this. Of course, we got an open hat in here, right? So that's gonna happen every 4 bars, right? And then I add a tambourine on top. It's just to help it move. And remember what I'm doing here is that
Arkatech.
I'm taking, wow, I'm just copying each track over and I'm keeping these things separate, right? So I'm doing 1 instrument per track. I know there's some guys that like to finger drum it all. I don't really do that. That's not how that's not how we came up doing things. We came up doing everything track by track because remember, we were in an era where everything had to be tracked individually anyway, right? So we never wanted to put anything, we didn't want to put too many instruments on one track because we used to have to solo each track and run it in the analog, right? Now, of course, you don't have to do that now because we got stem, all that stuff, but just so that you have a mind frame of, how to control and build you're building your track, you're building your beats track by track, you know what I mean? And giving yourself total control, right? So here, right, we got our snare. Right. Our kick. Right. And what I did now is I added a piano to that would basically accentuate the sample in the piano. All right. Now with this, with bass line. And it's the same note as the piano. It starts on the piano bass note, and it's And that's like an old 90s just a mob vibe. You know how that is, right? And then just to put it a little bit over the top, we put an 808 in it. And the 808 now, and this is the thing how I'm using 808s now. I'm using 808s now to kind of bridge the gap between boom bap and trap. Now, some people may agree with me, some people might not agree with me, but I'm telling you, the 808s used to be in our boom bap. You know what I'm saying? But guys kind of moved away from it, but it used to be prominent in our boom bap back in the days. If you think about Capital Punishment, boom boom, that's 808. Boom boom, boom boom, right? Capital punishment by the government. So when you think about pun on that joint, that's 808s in that, right? And then we added a choir in this part to kind of. Right? And that's just kind of brings it all together. Then I put a bell in here. You know what I mean? And the bell is kind of like, like that bell sometimes would be like some horror stuff, like, the bells, you know what I mean? So we can put it all together. The like button, let's go.
Arkatech Beatz.
subscribing, man, following. Let's go. It's Arkatech Beatz, man. This beat is called The Jukes. Shout out to my homie Sean Anthony Baker on the name for that. Yo, that's what we did last night, man. That's what we did that last night. Tonight we did Blue Magic. Vito, make sure you take the dust off that NPC live, man. And let's get to work, bro. Every night we here, man. So when I'm cooking, you cook, man. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep us on track, you know what I mean? So this is the Blue Magic joint that we did earlier. For those who might have missed it. Hold on, let's start this the right way.
Arkatech Beatz.
Shout out to everybody listening live. Shout out to everybody that's in the live tonight. That beat is called Blue Magic. Shout out to the homie Coach JNYC. Listen, we're going to be back tomorrow. I'm hopefully trying to get on a little earlier, man. My aim is for 9:30. Yeah, man. I need you in here, man. I need you to just, if you got some equipment that you're sitting on right now, man, I need everybody to just kind of get started into the situation. Let's start building these tracks, man, so that you can start kind of doing what we need to do, man. You know what I mean? Richie Mays, man, my guy. Peace to you too, bro. Be safe. We're gonna get out of here tomorrow. Again, I'm gonna try to do, like I said, like 9:30, 10 o'clock tonight, man. It's just one of those nights, man. Like as we're starting to close up the summer months, you know, back to school coming, you know. Then my kids will start going to bed earlier rather, because even right now, like my daughter might still actually be up. Like my 10-year-old, like she'd be up trying to like write and draw and all types of stuff. She'd be up there writing books and stuff. I don't know what she'd be doing. So she'd be upstairs just doing whatever she's doing. Yeah, most definitely, man. Hit the notification bells, man, so that you can see what's going on when we're getting on live. Hit the notifications. I'm gonna take y'all out of here. Hold on, before we get out of here, let me play my girl Cody. I always gotta play my girl Cody before I leave. You know I love the girl Cody. I gotta play Cody before I get out of here. If y'all never heard Cody before, Cody is our artist. And she's coming soon.
Arkatech Beatz.
Let's go.
It's a late night, I don't mind. I was gonna spend all my time with you. It's a good night, it's a good time. I was gonna spend all my time with you. Wasn't sure where we would end up. Just wanna be around you, make sure you're straight, so I got you. When I needed you the most, you came through. And now I'm feeling closer than I thought I'd ever be to you. It's a late night, I don't mind. I was gonna spend all my time with you. It's a good night, it's a good time. I was gonna spend all my time with you. If you down, we can do whatever. No, I got you, we'll be straight forever. Boy, I like it when you wear that sweater. Always tell you that you look better.
Let's go.
When I needed you the most, you came through.
You came through.
And now I'm feeling closer than I thought I'd ever be to you. It's a late night, I don't mind. I was gonna spend all my time with you. Yeah.
Arkatech
It's a good night, it's a good time. I was gonna spend all my time with you. It's a late night, I don't mind. I was gonna spend all my time with you. It's a good night, it's a good time. I was gonna spend all my time with you.
Peace, y'all.